What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode in the My Player Career Mode series. It's been a couple of days, so anybody who didn't see the last episode, I'll explain what's going on for you all. So, after we played the European Championships with Ben, I think it was, we decided that we weren't going to take the series forward, but after a lot of comments from all of you guys asking me to keep it for at least one more season before making Ben a manager, I decided I'd only do that if we got a transfer. And we did manage to get a transfer. So last episode, we saw Ben and his new club, Arsenal, of course, my supported club in real life, embark on his new journey. So if you did miss that, it's up on the channel. You can check it out. And yeah, cheeky plug, I guess, to start the episode off with today. But this one, we're back. We're ready to play against Manchester United, his former side. So a very entertaining game to come here, hopefully. We're going to see Ben in action and maybe sink Manchester United, who at this point are probably the favourites to secure the Premier League title. And as you know from that episode, we spoke about it and we said Arsenal are not in the Champions League or the Europa League this season. So the only aim for Ben and Arsenal is to try and win a Premier League title. Something that's evaded as Arsenal fans for quite a while. So I'm going to try and do that before we make him a manager. And I have already gone ahead and kind of thought to my plans for the manager series. I'm not going to spoil it yet. It won't be like a long time series. It's probably just going to be a one-off video where we make him a manager and try and win as much as we possibly can. So I'm not going to spoil those just yet. But heading into game then, and we saw the first chance inside the 30th minute. Manchester United going close on Ben's return to Old Trafford. From the resulting corner, it was Gelson Martins who would whip it in. And as you can see, it actually found its way to the feet of Andrea Belotti. And he ended up turning it goal-bound, but a good save from Lopez kept the score at 0-0. So Arsene Wenger actually kept his word and played a very strong team for this one. So can't really complain at his team selection for this. So if we do end up losing it, then we only have to blame the players out there on the day. It continued the Man United pressure, yet another corner. And I have no idea what on earth happened for this one, as Anthony Martial pounced and gave Manchester United a 1-0 lead. Minutes away from the half-time whistle, but it was actually Ben who brought the ball under control and tried to clear it. And I'll show you from the replay. Look at this. Ben brings it down on the chest. It hits, I think it's El Neni. And that's what confuses Ben as he goes to kick the ball away, but the ball is not there. He turns around in despair, realises where it's going. And it's just a massive stroke of unfortune here for Arsenal. But massive stroke of luck for Man United. And they took advantage of it. But it wasn't too long after that Arsenal would find an equaliser. Ben's delivery towards the back post, and luckily it was headed home as well to make the score 1-1. So two very, I would say, interesting goals from this one. Both defences not really having the greatest game in the world, and that was Coman's last contribution, his header to get us back in the game. So decent, and with 5 minutes left, I thought Arsenal may just nick it as Ben goes through here up against David De Gea, trying to beat him, and we know how difficult that job is as he palms that shot away. And into the 90th minute we go. And unfortunately, it wasn't to be for Ben to come back to Old Trafford and sink his former club. But they do come away with a point. And I bet there won't be many teams in the division this year that will be able to say they've gone to Old Trafford and still come away with a point. So it's a decent result. We'll take it. And we did have some moments where Arsenal were still competitive, especially Bell in the side. I was going to be intrigued to see, actually, if he'd have gone to Old Trafford, if he had have scored, would he have celebrated? That was what I was thinking in the back of my mind. So we didn't get to see it, sadly, because he didn't actually score. He assisted, but he didn't actually get one himself. So we move out of that game into the next one. It's just as hard as the next opponents were Chelsea, but it is at the Emirates this time around, not actually within the away ground over at Stamford Bridge. I have noticed as well, guys, because I wanted to do something off camera, just like a little, I guess, fun mode for myself whilst I was editing videos. If you try and create a career mode now, I'm not sure if EA have patched it, but as of last night, when you're watching this video, I tried to make a new one, and every ground on every single club is default set to the Santiago Bernabeu. I'm going to assume that's a glitch done with the World Cup game mode that came out a few days ago, but I'm hoping they patch that, because it's frustrating, because I can't even switch the ground. But enough about that, let's get into the highlights. So, Chelsea, the opponents, Arsenal went 1-0 up. It was a lovely move. And Bolo got on the end of it and managed to find the strike that ended up sending the Arsenal side 1-0 in front. And if I'm being completely honest, I never expected Arsenal to go 1-0 in front. I have a problem with Courtois in this game. He always has a great performance whenever I play against Chelsea, or Belgium for that matter. You may have seen it in yesterday's Road to Glory career mode, because we played against Belgium in the World Cup, and he had an unbelievable game. So I thought it was going to be similar here, but luckily it was actually Embolo who did open up the scoring. Courtois going a big hand to that one, but not enough to push it out, and he ended up going into the top corner. Onto the stroke of half-time though, Chelsea, they grew into the game and could have quite easily had an equaliser. N'Golo Kante's shot blocked, fell back in the middle of the box to Boga, who sent his effort goal-bound, but it went wide of the post and not inside the post, which is what we needed in order for that one to find the back of the net. And after that, it was pretty much shut up shop for Arsenal, and luckily they were able to do so. I'm a little bit worried in real life when I see situations like this. Arsenal trying to shut up shop after a 1-0 advantage. We know they can't do it, but luckily they can in this one. Their defence isn't too bad. So as it stands, that's a win and a draw from what I would consider two very tough Premier League games. And of course, it's only the Premier League that we're focusing on this time around. So to get the 4 points from a possible 6 there, I think that's two very, very good results. Now, we move into the third one, which is Stoke City at the Stoke City FC Stadium. I'm glad that Wenger is finally playing his strongest team. There is some incredible players in this Arsenal lineup, and how they're not playing Champions League football is quite beyond me, because they do have a very good squad. And if this was a situation in which you're looking at this and having to say, well, hang on a minute, how on earth are they not? Potentially Wenger shouldn't be the manager with a squad like this if he's not Champions League football-esque. I know they've signed Ben, so of course they got that extra quality in this time around. But it did kind of baffle me at how the fact they're not playing any European football. I mean, they've got a really good squad, but not only that, they've actually got a decent bench as well. So it's not like they have, you know, this best starting 11 possible and then like a rubbish bench. They've actually got a bit of both. But the game started off well for Arsenal inside 3 minutes. Ben showing his quality to open up the scoring after an interesting skill move run. Got inside and kept his shot nice and low. As you know, the driven shots are always the way forward in this game. I've got to say, though, the fake Rabona into the touch pass to man, it then goes through the defender's legs. There's all sorts of stuff going on in that goal there. And in the end, it actually took a deflection to go in the back of the net. So at first, when I was thinking that this had actually gone in during the game, I was like, what a good finish. And then I saw the deflection on the replay, and I was like, wow. Imagine if that deflection hadn't happened, would it have still gone in? That's the question. Well, I'm not so sure it would. I think the keeper might have had it covered, but we continue on anyways, and there's no deflection involved for this one here. I've got to say, though, very disappointed in the Stoke City goalkeeper. It's a decent strike from Ben, and at the time, there wasn't a lot he could have done with a pass. You can see he kind of slows the play right down. He's thinking, what on earth am I going to do with the ball? But nobody really closes him down, so instead he chooses to hit the shot. And the keeper, well, it wasn't the greatest bit of goalkeeping I've ever seen in my life. He's on par with Karius during the Champions League final. I know that sounds harsh to say, but even so, it wasn't exactly the best goalkeeping. We'll take nothing away from Ben, though. He took the shot on, and to even take it on from that angle is still difficult enough to do. I've got to give credit where it's due, though. Stoke, they came back. They weren't willing to just sit by and feel sorry for themselves. They did actually get back in the game. Pulisic with an effort, which ended up finding the bottom corner. It's actually a decent side, this one from Stoke. Chilwell's in there, Emre Can, Pulisic. And at this point in the series as well, you've got to remember, these guys are very high-rated players, you know. Pulisic alone is a top-tier player. So to see Stoke having him and being able to keep hold of him as well, it's pleasantly surprising, but I can't take much away from that finish. It was world-class from the American, and it put Stoke back in the game. But as always, when you've got Ben on your side, he's going to close it out. Another lovely run. And this time he gets in behind. A similar finish to the first one. Similar type of finish in towards the bottom corner. And with 20 minutes left on the clock, he restored Arsenal's 2-goal lead and surely now sends them to what should be 3 points on the board. Good scoop turn, but again, defensively, Stoke a little bit easy at the back. And simply put, you just can't let that happen when Ben's in the team. He'll take advantage of it, and that's what he did there. So a hat-trick for our number 11 here at Arsenal. It's not too often that I'm allowed to say that, but it's good to see him getting it. Of course, last season, the FIFA 17 player career mode, we were a striker, so there was that to look forward to. And this time around, we had Ben, which we decided to make a cam. So, yeah, you don't get many hat-tricks, but you still manage to get the goals every so often. But Stoke, again, would hit back. A second goal in the afternoon for them with 2 minutes remaining, giving them a semi-lifeline because it wasn't like they had a lot of time. Another great finish, though, from the Stoke City player. Not a lot that Lopez could have done against that. It's actually Saido Berahino with the strike, which is funny because in real life, he hasn't really scored for Stoke at all after his big money move away from West Brom. And, yeah, I spoke about Stoke, you know, their lack of, I say, quality signings and their mistakes in the window, and I think Berahino was certainly one of those. But he scored for them on the day. It wasn't enough as they did end up losing it by 3-2, which meant it was another Arsenal victory, and it was another 3 points added to the kitty. So that's 7 from 9 in this episode, and it should put them near the top spot as well. And that's good to see, because with this final season, we're aiming for that Premier League title with my favourite club. I got some nice comments as well from you all saying about how the fact it's nice to see him playing at Arsenal, which I've got to be honest, right? Considering the fact I'm an Arsenal fan, in FIFA 18, and this is going to sound weird, right? In FIFA 17, I did have a career mode with them off camera. FIFA 18, I've done absolutely nothing with Arsenal this year. No career mode. I didn't do a My Player career mode where I sent him to Arsenal originally. And this is the first time I'm really actually playing in the Arsenal colours during FIFA 18. I used them briefly on Ultimate Team when I first, made the team and I got the Arsenal kits. But then since then, I've purchased other ones that I like the look of. So it's kind of strange that I'm an Arsenal fan and yet I haven't done a lot. So this is kind of new to me as well, even though we are, 8 months into the game. But still, next up was Norwich at the Emirates. And inside 3 minutes, Ben continued his good goal-scoring form, finding yet again the bottom corner with yet again another driven shot. It's just so easy when he gets in those positions. He was then rugby tackled into the advertising boards, by the way. So, yeah, let's hope he's not injured off that one. But again, the finish, it's so simple to do and it's so effective that it's nice to see it work out. He should have had a second for himself, but his right foot wasn't quite as good as his left as he got in and could not find a similar type of finish to the first one. That one going wide of the post. And then Norwich, they hit back. Vega's effort, powerful header on goal, but a decent save from Lopez. As we continue into the second half, it was pretty much the same situation. Arsenal dominating most of the proceedings. Should have had a second here as Ben again got through. Tried to be cheeky and dink it over the top of the goalkeeper. Instead of just finishing it off, it would have probably given them the victory and the 3 points. And again, he had another chance late on, 8 minutes from time, where again he tried to do that driven shot. The second save is the save of the match, though, for me, as the ball fell backwards and the keeper made another save. A lot of luck involved for the second goal of the afternoon, though, as it was in the final minute of it. Ben attempted a little touch there to get round the defender. In the end, the ball bounced back towards Lamar, who flicked him through, and he found a pass towards the back post. I think it was to Leon Bailey in the end, who doubled Arsenal's advantage in the last few minutes and sent them to yet another 3 points as well. So as I've said previously about this series, guys, it won't be every day or every 2 days. It's most likely going to be every 3 days. And I'll try to play like 4 to 5 games every episode, so in that way we're getting through it. And then after that, we'll have the best bits, and then Ben as a manager, because at that point, we should be getting closer to the start of FIFA 19. How are you guys finding the World Cup game mode, by the way? I just wanted to throw that in there between now and the end of this video, because, personally speaking, I'm a little bit underwhelmed with the World Cup game mode. I'm not going to have a rant about it or anything like that. It's just what I expected from it hasn't really been delivered. So let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. But obviously, guys, as well, I want to thank you all so much for watching this episode. I really appreciate all of the likes and support that you guys show me. It's great to see. 23,000 subscribers. We hit that on the channel recently, so I thank you all so much for that as well. I never expected to even get like 100, so that's mind-boggling alongside that. I will see you all again tonight for another video. Make sure you are already subscribed around here if you're not. The link is below. Alongside that is a notification bell, so you can click that and never miss an upload. Might be able to get another video out as well as a bonus one today, so 3 in a single day. That'll be good for you guys. But nevertheless, that's it for the 4 PM. Catch you all later. Adios.